Hey Collective, welcome back. I hope you're having a good day today. So you meet someone and bam, it happens. That electric, undeniable spark. The conversation just flows. The chemistry is completely off the charts. And for a minute, you think you've finally found the one. It feels like magic, destiny even. But then, a few months, maybe even a year later, the magic trick is over. The exciting texts start to dry up. Conversations feel like you're tiptoeing through a minefield, and that incredible connection you felt is just gone. And you're left looking at the pieces, thinking, what in the world just happened? Here's a truth. The reason most relationships don't make it isn't attraction fading. It's that one or both people just don't have the capacity to build and sustain a real, healthy connection. We spend so much of our lives searching for that initial spark, that intoxicating feeling. But we almost never ask the most important question. What happens when the fireworks go out? Getting someone's attention isn't the real test. Having the capacity actually is. And how to tell if you and the person you're interested in truly have it. Let's be real. Attraction is the easy part. It happens to us, not because of us. It's a gut reaction, a mix of biology and psychology doing its thing. A cocktail of hormones like dopamine and norepinephrine floods our brains, creating that obsessive can't eat, can't sleep excitement. It's an involuntary response to a million little things. The sound of their voice, their confidence, the way they laugh, even things that subconsciously remind us of our past. But here's the trap. We mistake that intense chemical high for a sign of genuine compatibility. We think that because the feeling is so powerful, the relationship must be the right one. It's like a sugar rush. It feels amazing for a moment and gives you a huge burst of energy, but you can't live on it. You can't build a healthy life on candy, and you can't build a healthy relationship on chemistry alone. That initial spark is a fantastic starting pistol, but it's not the finish line. Relying on it is like trying to drive cross-country, using only the flash from a single firework. Sure, it's bright and exciting, but it's going to leave you in the dark pretty fast. The truth is that euphoric head-over-heels feeling isn't designed to last forever. Your brain literally can't maintain that level of intensity. The real question is, what's left when the chemical party is over? Is there any substance underneath, or was it just all smoke and mirrors? This is the exact point where most relationships quietly fall apart. To get why some connections fizzle out, why others deepen, we need to talk about two totally different kinds of attraction. A concept psychotherapist Ken Page brilliantly calls attractions of desperation versus attractions of inspiration. Getting this difference is a total game changer. First up, attractions of desperation. So many of us get stuck here. This is that intoxicating, can't get enough of them desire for someone who is inconsistent, emotionally distant, or just plain unavailable. It's the chase. This kind of attraction feels like an addiction because, well, it is. It runs on a psychological principle called intermittent reinforcement. You get a reward like attention or affection at random, unpredictable times. That uncertainty keeps you hooked and anxiously waiting for your next fix, making you mistake all that anxiety and relief for deep, passionate love. If you have an anxious attachment style, you're especially vulnerable to this because the inconsistency of an avoidant partner can trigger your deepest fears of abandonment. This means you chase even harder to feel safe again. You find yourself trying to fix them or hoping you'll be the one to finally get them to open up. It's a relationship built on longing and insecurity, leaving you feeling drained and even more empty than when you started. Fuck this kind of love. No. Then there's the other kind. Attractions of inspiration. This is the slow burn. This attraction isn't fueled by a chase or feeling like you're not good enough. It's fueled by genuine respect and a sense of well-being. You're drawn to who they are, their kindness, their integrity, their sense of humor. This person doesn't make you feel like you have to constantly audition for their love. They inspire you to be a better version of yourself just by being around them. This might feel less like a dramatic firework display and more like a warm, steady glow. It doesn't have the chaotic highs and crushing lows of deprivation attraction. It feels safe. It feels consistent. It feels like coming home. So, how do we get out of the deprivation trap and move towards something that actually lasts? The answer is to start building and looking for capacity. Capacity isn't about how much you like someone. It's about their ability to actually be in a real relationship. It's the emotional and practical toolkit needed to build a connection and handle life's curveballs together. Let's break it down into 4 pillars. Pillar number 1, the capacity for self-awareness. You can't build a healthy relationship with anyone if you don't have a working relationship with yourself. Real capacity starts with self-awareness. The ability to look in the mirror and understand your own emotional wiring. This means recognizing your patterns without judging yourself. I have a question for you. Are you always drawn to people you think you can fix? Do you confuse the anxiety of chasing someone unavailable with real passion? Noticing is your first huge step towards healing. A person with high capacity has done the work to understand their own triggers and attachment style. They know their emotional landscape. They don't blame their partner for how they feel. They take responsibility for their own emotions and needs. I've learned someone who lacks self-awareness will constantly make their partner responsible for their happiness and stability. And that's a recipe for disaster. Building capacity means you stop asking, how can I make them love me? And you start asking, why am I so drawn to this dynamic? And is it actually good for me? Pillar number 2, the capacity for reciprocity. Attraction can be a one-way street, but a real relationship is a two-way conversation. Reciprocity is the engine that keeps the connection going. And this is a hill I will die on. Because I've spent the first half of my life in mostly one-sided relationships of all kinds, where people mistake my kindness for weakness and think that I don't deserve to be given to equally for some reason. I will never understand. Reciprocity is the mutual exchange of energy, effort, curiosity, and care. Someone with capacity understands that a relationship needs 2 people showing up. They invest when you invest. They ask questions about your day because they genuinely want to know the answer. You don't walk away from time with them feeling exhausted, like you did all the work. Their actions consistently line up with their words. They aren't playing any games. Someone with capacity is interested and makes time for you, but they also have their own full life. They aren't just waiting around for you. Someone who lacks capacity will keep you in a constant state of auditioning for their affection, always taking more than they give. Pillar number 3, the capacity for growth through discomfort. The initial spark is fun, sure, but navigating the first argument, the first disappointment, or the first real-life crisis, that's where love is truly built. Capacity is the ability to stay connected even when things get uncomfortable. It's seeing a challenge not as a sign that the relationship is broken, but as a chance to grow closer and understand each other better. This requires a growth mindset, the belief that love is something you build through effort, not something that just happens by fate. A person with capacity doesn't run from tough conversations. They have the emotional maturity to handle a rupture and then repair it. They can say, "I'm sorry," when they're wrong, and work with you to find a solution. Someone who lacks this will shut down, get defensive, or blame you when conflict comes up. They see disagreement as a threat, not a bridge to becoming closer. Couples that last aren't the ones who never fight. They're the ones who learn how to face the stress together. Pillar number 4, the capacity for patience. In our world of instant everything, patience has become a lost art. In relationships, it's a superpower. Attractions of deprivation are all about urgency. They make you feel like you have to lock it down right now. But attractions of inspiration are allowed to breathe. Capacity is the quiet confidence to let a connection unfold naturally, without trying to force it, or project a fantasy onto the other person. It's letting things grow from liking to trusting to loving without a panic need to rush the process. A person with capacity isn't trying to fast forward to the end credits. They're present for the journey. They understand that real trust and intimacy are built slowly, over time, through shared experiences and consistent actions. They know that things like character and shared values are what keep a relationship strong, long after the initial chemistry has become familiar. So, what do you do with all of this? You start by changing your focus. Instead of hunting for the next spark, you start building your own capacity and looking for it in others. The next time you feel that addictive pull towards someone who's flaky or distant, just pause. Acknowledge the feeling, but consciously choose not to chase it. We don't chase. Instead, turn your attention to people who make you feel calm, seen, and respected. It may feel a little boring at first, if your nervous system is wired to think anxiety equals love, but you can retrain yourself to see that calm is the new exciting. Second, make emotional stability and reciprocity your priorities. Pay attention to how people act under pressure. Do they communicate? Do they keep promises? Stop auditioning for love and start observing for capacity. And finally, be patient. Be patient with yourself and the process. Building your own capacity and finding a partner who has also done the work isn't an overnight thing. It's a journey of self-reflection and making conscious choices. That electric spark of initial attraction is a beautiful thing. It's often the catalyst that gets the whole thing started. But it's just that, the start. It isn't the relationship itself. Lasting love isn't something you find, friends. It's something you build. And it can only be built by two people who both have the capacity for the job. Attraction is easy. It's a reflex. But capacity, the ability to know yourself, to give and take, to grow through challenges, and to be patient, that is the real quiet and profound test of love. You have the power to stop chasing temporary fireworks and start building a love that lights you up inside. Choosing to value capacity over chemistry is the single most empowering decision you can make in your love life. Now go, make good choices and be brave, but like and subscribe before you go. Until next time, friends, keep healing. See ya.